Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Manoj.
Yeah, I actually was on a call before this session. Yeah, since we were supposed to start at 7:30, but then I had a call in the morning, early morning call. So,
Okay.
and then after I started the session again, they gave me a call. So that's why I just had to wrap it up. That's it.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, all right. So is it raining in is it raining out there in Hyderabad?
No,
No, it's
not
not.
today.
Okay.
Not
Not
today.
today. Yeah. It started raining again over here out in Mumbai. Because for 2 days it was dry, and then once again it started raining today. Let's see if it goes on like that. Okay. All right. Shall we start, guys?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So basically, let's do a recap of what we did yesterday. Okay. Yesterday, basically, what we started off with was with we started off with capacity checking methods. Okay. We tried to understand what exactly is why exactly capacity checking method is used. What is the basis of a capacity checking method? Okay. Basically, capacity checking method is used, okay, whenever you're using putaway strategies such as addition to existing stock, or whenever you have something like a mixed storage within your storage bins. Okay, at the storage type level, whether you've made the configuration that it has to be a mixed storage or it has to be an addition to existing stock. Now the thing is, many a times that you would say that, okay, if I need to have an addition to existing stock, first thing is you might have to put a total capacity at your storage bin type level, which kind of goes ahead and gets it translated to or probably passes on that to all the bins that you have at your at your storage for all the bins that you'll have at the storage bin level at all the storage bins. So basically, you're talking about the maximum capacity. Okay. But apart from that, there might be cases, now you're talking about addition to existing stock. There might be cases that, at your storage type level, you have had this type of configuration. Let's say your HU requirement is not available. Okay. Yeah. It says that HU is allowed but not a requirement. Or you say, that's basically what you're trying to say. Just put in that there are no HUs. It's allowed, so it depends that you are storing HUs also in your storage bin, and you can go ahead and store your products also. So if such is the configuration, if such is the scenario wherein at a certain storage bin, certain times, probably your client goes and places HUs out there. Certain times he doesn't place HUs, he just puts in products. He goes there and just puts in products out there. So if such is the case, then in that case you need to identify that, okay, this is my storage bin. So if this is my storage bin, then what exactly is the capacity? I can't just go ahead and make the system, go on make my system reports that, okay, if this is the product, then I go ahead and place so many products inside it. If this is a product B, then how many products should the system allow at the storage bin level? Also, there might be cases that probably I might have, the storage bin size is the same, but I might have two different HU types. And there are two different HU types. So at my storage bin type level, I've mentioned that the maximum capacity is, let's say, 25. But that does not mean that the maximum capacity is 25. Means that I can place 25 pallets also and 25 cartons also. Probably cartons are, I might be able to place probably, let's say, 20 cartons. But then definitely not 25 pallets. There might be a case that I might be able to place only 10 pallets. If that is the case, then how do I go about it? So for that, we basically need to have a capacity checking method out here. We've got three different types of methods. We have either a key figure product, an HU type, and you have capacity check according to key figure product and HU type. If this is the case, you've got maximum. This is the first case when you've got capacity check according to the key figure. So here we've got max capacity of the storage bin 50. You at the material at the warehouse product type level, at the warehouse product level, you go ahead and put in what is the capacity consumption. You put in, let's say, for product A the capacity consumption is 5, for product B the capacity consumption is 2. Okay, you receive an IBD. Okay, you receive an inbound delivery. You say that, okay, this is my inbound delivery and of 9 each is of product A. So the system just goes ahead and does the simple mathematics. It says, okay, you've received 9. The capacity for each one, for one each of this product A is equal to 5. That will go to 45. So okay, 45 is lesser than the maximum capacity of 50. So I'll be able to go ahead and place this 9 out here in this storage bin. However, if I receive something like this in the 12 of product A, I will have to place it in 2 bins. I'll have to place it in 2 bins. One is that, one would be with 10 eaches and the other would be of 2 eaches. Likewise, if you're having a max capacity, this is what we're talking about, a capacity check according to HU. If this is the case, then in that case, we were talking about giving the maximum capacity, capacity consumption at the HU level. You say that, okay, you've got the multiple different HU types, and each HU type has got a packaging material, which is actually a warehouse product, or should I say, which is a product at your in EWM. Okay, so now if this is the case, you go ahead and put in the capacity consumption again for that HU type, and based on that, the system would go ahead and identify it and store it accordingly. Then the next option would be the maximum capacity of according to the key figure product and HU. Now if this is the case, then in that case you go ahead and put, you've got the maximum capacity at the storage bin level, and also you've got the maximum capacity, basically you put in the capacity consumption at the product type, at the warehouse product level, and for the packaging material type, which is the HU. Okay. Now based on that, the system would then go ahead and check, how many eaches can I go ahead and place and how many pallets, or how many HUs can I go ahead and place in the same bin. Okay. So that's basically when you're talking about a capacity checking method. Then the next topic that we've spoken about was we spoke about batches, batch management. So batch management is a feature that you have in ECC. Okay. In ECC also you've got a batch management wherein you go ahead and manage batches or manage products at batches, various different batches. Every batch can have its own nomenclature, or you can have a standard nomenclature based on which you identify that, okay, this batch was against a certain lot number. Even in ECC, you get a complete different classification, or you get an expansion of all the batches that you have at your plant level, or basically at the SLOC level. Likewise, even in EWM, you've got even in EWM we've got something which is known as a batch management. Now this batch management is something which will flow from ECC to EWM when you go ahead and sift the product, which is batch. Okay, it is batch managed in ECC. When you sift it from ECC to EWM, have in ECC. Okay, that is about when you're talking about a full-blown proper batch management. Now, based on this batch management, you can go ahead and do a picking. You can go ahead and do, if you want to go in some kind of transfers and all that, you can go ahead and do that. However, there's also a different type of batch management out here also. It's known as a documentary batch. Okay, a documentary batch is a type of a batch. You're talking about a batch management wherein it does not affect the existence of batches or should I say it does not affect the existence of batches in ECC. You only use documentary batches for traceability, or to go ahead and trace your products that you at your warehouse level. Okay, you can go ahead and do that. but you will not be able to do an inventory management based on that. You will not have any kind of effect of those documentary batches at your ECC. Now again, documentary batches should only be used when you're not going to be using batch management. Okay. Now it can't be possible. It's not going to be possible if you're going to have batch management at your product level, and also you go and assign the documentary batch. Okay, that is not going to be possible, because though the system would not allow you to, the system would allow you to go and do that, but still the system would always consider the batch management full-blown batch management. Okay, so that was basically about batch management. Now today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about the outbound side. Okay. We're going to be talking about outbound and how the system goes ahead, and so when you're talking about outbound, we're talking about goods issue. Okay. Now goods issue, just like we have an inbound, okay, we've got a putaway. Likewise, we've got something known as stock removal. Just like in putaway, we've got various putaway rules and various putaway strategies. The same way, just like that, an exact replica, we've got something known as a stock removal rules or stock removal strategy. Okay. So we're going to be covering that today.
Manoj, I have a doubt.
Yes, sir. Tell me.
See, in WM we have this bin types assigned to the this one, so that a larger pallet doesn't occupy a smaller bin, or the smaller bin, a bigger bin doesn't have smaller pallet. Bin type, right?
Bin type and HU type compatible.
Yeah. So here we have any setting like that, so that the pallets don't unequally occupy the bins.
Yeah. Yes. So basically, what you're trying to ask, what your question is that, okay, let's say if I've got 5 different types of 5 different bin types.
Yeah.
Okay. And I've got, let's say 3 SU types. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got a carton, I've got a pallet, and I've got, let's say, a jumbo bag.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So now a jumbo bag is basically when you're talking about like 1 metric ton, you're talking about 750 kgs, or something like that. Okay. So if that is the case, so you're basically saying that out of these 5 bin types, only 1 bin type should have jumbo bags. The other 2 others would have only pallets, and 2 others will have only cartons. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you have the setting out here. See, over here you create your storage. You have your storage bin types and all that.
Yeah.
Under this, you've got your various HU types. Then you've got 3 levels. Okay. First is at your warehouse level, which are the HU types that you want to, at your warehouse level, you'll say that, okay, fine, this is the HU type that I want. Okay. Which are the number of HUs? What are the HU types that I have that I need to have at my warehouse level? Second thing is, you go ahead and say that, okay, if I've got like, let's say 5 HU types, then within my warehouse, how many storage types will these HU types have? I mean, how many HU types each and every storage type have? Let's say I've got, like I said, like the example is, I've got, let's say 2 storage types, okay, bulk and high rack, and I've got 3 HU types and 5 bin types. So there might be a case that at the bulk, in the bulk storage type, I only want to place jumbo bags. I don't want to place these pallets and cartons in bulk storage. So then at the storage type level itself, I will just put in that HU. Okay?
Okay.
That is the second level. Then let's say that let's say for some reason that no, even at the bulk storage I will place pallets also. Okay. I will place, or else let's say bulk storage, let's forget the bulk storage. Let's take the other high rack. Now in the high rack, I know that there are certain places where I will store, I will place both cartons. I'm talking about if I'm talking about the storage at the storage type level, I will say that I'm going to be storing both cartons and pallets. But within that storage type, I've got different bin types. Okay. I've got two different, should I say, I've got, I've got 4 bin types, okay, out of which, in 2 bin types, I've got, I only have space to place cartons. And the other 2 bin types, I've got space only to place pallets, because that's how I want to do it.
Yeah.
Pallets, I'm going to keep it in the lower, lower rungs, because they are heavy, in the lower racks, and the cartons I want to place it in the higher racks. Okay, so I've divided those as bin types. So if that is the case, then I will go ahead and define HU types for each bin type. Okay? So well?
Yeah, Manoj, I'm following.
Yeah. So basically you place it out here. So let's say for, if you've got over here, now you've got E1, right?
Yeah.
So over here you've got E1 and E2. Okay, E1 and E2 which goes into, both P002. But then E2 does not go to P001.
Yeah.
P001 only has E1. Okay. Now, let's say that all the bins, all the storage bins of P002 are full for some reason, okay, at your warehouse. And then you receive an E2. You receive some stock which has got E2, and there is storage bins available only at P001. Okay. But then still, when you try to do a put away, the system will not give you to do it, because it says that the storage bin type and the HU type is not compatible with each other. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So you can do this. You can based on your scenario, you can use this very intelligently, and you can make a very good optimized warehouse.
Right.
You can do that. You can actually do. I mean, we have done even in WM or even in EWM out here. We've done a lot of these kind of many a times these clients will come up with these very they think that it is a very complex issue that they are facing. Yeah. But then it is all depends upon how you go ahead and make the how you go ahead and do the setting in your warehouse. Because they will say that no, sometimes you place this, sometimes you place that. This is how it happens. The client will try to that's how they try to speak about their issue as if it is the biggest issue in the world. And they try to think as if SAP AG has to make a new note for them, specifically for them, but then it is not that. You can use this bin type, and we've kind of solved 2-3 problems like this with this same HU type and bin type compatibility. Okay?
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, man. Following.
Yeah. Also, one more thing, Suhail, what you can do is, let's say there are certain times wherein you don't have stock, you don't have your, you don't have this bin available. Okay? You don't have this bin available. You say that, okay, I have only stock at, I only have storage bins available at P001 bin type.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Now, if that is the case, and you have to do a put away.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to do a put away. Then there are 2 ways. One, what you can do is you can create a bin manually, as in at the dynamic level. You can just create a bin like dummy with P002 as the storage bin type, or else only for that moment, okay, only for that one moment, for that one case, what you can do is you can change the storage bin type from P001 to P002 for 2-3 bins.
Oh yeah, that also can be done.
And then you can do a put away.
Yeah.
So these are the 2 methods that you can use. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Alright. Okay, so basically when you're talking about when you're talking about goods issue, or should I say when you're talking about a stock removal, when you're talking about stock removal, just like in goods, just like in an inbound, we have something which is not like a purchase order, a process order, okay, production order. Now based on that, you have an inbound delivery which gets created in ECC. That inbound delivery becomes an inbound delivery in EWM, and you go and do your, you go and do your goods receipt or your put away and all that. Likewise, even in EWM, even for your, for your outbound process, you've got the same thing. Like the same, you've got a sales order. It creates, with reference to that, you create a outbound delivery. The outbound delivery gets distributed to EWM. It gets distributed to EWM, and then we've got we've got an outbound delivery which gets created, and based on that you go ahead and do a putaway. Okay. Sorry, you go ahead and do a stock removal. Now, for your stock removal, basically the first thing is that we need to understand like when you're talking about whenever we try to do a goods issue, when we try to do a outbound movement in ECC, we've got specific movement types, right? We've got specific movement types which will assist us or which will aid us in basically completing their operation. Just like we have got those movement types in ECC, the same way we've got movement types in EWM also. I mean the warehouse process types in EWM. So when you're talking about an outbound movement, or when you're talking about stock removal or stock retrieval, in that case we've got we've got the WPT, which is 2010 with the warehouse process category as 2. Okay, so warehouse process category as 2, and the activity that you have as picking. Okay, so this is one thing which is very important. Another thing is, at this warehouse process type level only, you can go ahead and put in what is your destination storage type and destination storage bin. Okay. There might be cases that as soon as you do a picking, you want to take it to a certain area where you probably do some kind of a tagging, some kind of labeling, some kind of VAS activities. So if that is the case, then you can go ahead and manually put this hard code it. Over here, if I'm mentioning all this, and if I'm putting the destination storage type and bin, it is as good as you're doing a hard coding for this WPT. So I go ahead and maintain that. Okay, so that's at the WPT. That's at the WPT level, and then the determination is the same. The determination of the WPT is the same like how we had done it for for putaway. Okay, the determination when you're trying to do this, let's go here. Yeah, got this. The determination will be the same, just like we've got for an inbound delivery. You go ahead and have this. You've got the same 5 parameters: the warehouse number, the document type, the item type, delivery priority, and the process control indicator. Now, based on that, you can have the determination of the WPT. Okay.
Yeah.
Now that the warehouse process type, basically the condition is what the case is right now is that you created a sales order, you created an outbound delivery, it has been transferred from ECC to EWM, okay, and then the system has identified which is the WPT that is going to be using that we're going to be using for performing the stock removal. Okay, so basically now we've identified the stage, we've come to the stage till a WPT or a warehouse process type determination. Now the next process that we need to do is, or basically the system would try to understand is, how do I do a stock removal? Okay, how do I go ahead and determine where do I search, where do I go ahead and search the product from? I have received, I have received there is a product A, I need to retrieve, or I need to find out from my warehouse. So if that is the case, how do I determine which storage bin do I pick this product from? Okay, there might be a case that the same product is available in 100 storage bins across the warehouse, but then there is one particular activity, there is one particular parameter based on which I would like to go and do a picking. Okay. So that is the case. The first thing that you have to go ahead and do is, okay, create. The first thing that we need to go ahead, just like putaway rules, we have different putaway rules, like addition to existing stock. We are addition to existing stock, next empty bin, consolidation group. Okay. Now based on that, okay, fixed bins. Now based on just like that, we have got something which is known as a stock removal rule. So now let's say if you've got something like so we've got various different types of stock removal rule. We can have different stock removal rules based on which you can go ahead and do your picking. Okay. So when you're talking about something like you've got stock removal rules such as first in first out, okay, which is a FIFO. Then there's something which is known as a stringent FIFO. Okay. Then there's something known as the last in first out. You've got partial quantities first. Okay. You've got based on your shelf life. Basically that is your SLED. Okay. Then you've got something known as a fixed bin. Okay. Then you've got something known as on based on the quantity classification. You can go and do your picking. So these are the various rules. But then before going ahead and doing that, okay, the first thing that we need to understand is how do I go ahead and define these rules, and what exactly happens. How, if I say that I'm defining a rule, what exactly does the system check in order to identify the quant, as in the quant, which means that the product which is best suitable for picking. Okay, so for that, if I'm talking about a FIFO, okay, I need to define what is a stock removal rule. Okay, so this is where I define what is a stock removal rule. Now this is a sort field. A sort field, which means this is a field at the quant level. Okay, so these are the various fields that I'm talking about that I can go ahead and play with. So if I'm talking about okay, there's something which I can have as first in first out means if I've received 3 consignments of the same product. Okay, one, let's say I've received it in April, the second I've received April 1st, second I've received it on April 2nd, and third I've received it on, let's say 6th of August. Now if I go and place a FIFO principle, a FIFO stock removal strategy, okay, at my storage bin, FIFO storage bin stock removal strategy, okay, then in that case I will go ahead and do it on based off a goods receipt. Likewise, I can go ahead and make it at different, I can go ahead and make it at different, I can go ahead and use different rules based on which I can go ahead and assign this. There might be cases when I want to do it at the batch level. I will say that, okay, forget the goods receipt, I probably want to go ahead and have just a okay. So basically I will say that first go ahead and I can say that let's remove this. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to do over here is I will say, okay, that first go ahead and find, let's say if I've got a batch, if I've got the same batch, okay, which I've received it in, for some reason I've received it on 2 dates. I've received the same batch on 2 different dates. Okay, so basically excuse me, let me just write it down. There's a product A. Okay. There's is A, batch goods receipt date. Let's say one I have received it on 20th of July. The other I have received it on 31st of July. Okay, I have received the same batch. Okay, and let's put in the quantity. 100 each is here, 150 each is here. Okay. This is the inbound thing that I received. Now, let's say I have an outbound. This will happen. Okay. Same product A. Okay, I want to go ahead and let's say pick 75. Same batch. And I want to pick 75. Okay, and this is the stock removal rule that I have placed. Okay, and let's say I go ahead and do, and this is my stock removal rule that I have placed. Okay, so I have received a sales order of this batch, basically stating that okay, fine, go ahead and try to pick up this batch. I want 75 eaches of this batch. Then along with that, I also place another rider. I will say that no, also based on goods receipt date. So what the system will do first is it will go ahead and see, okay, it will go and say, okay, fine, there's 100 eaches of this batch. The total in the warehouse, I've got 250 eaches of this batch. Okay, and these 250 eaches, probably let's say I've placed it in 250. Let's say I've placed it in 5 bins. Okay, 50 in each bin. Okay, so this is a GR stamp. All right. So I need to, what do I need to do? I need to do a 75 picking. I need to pick up 75. Okay. So if this is the case, if I need to pick up 75, so what the system would go and check in case of a stock removal, in stock removal rule based on FIFO. Okay, wherein I need to pick up a batch, and then I need to also check up the goods receipt date. Basically, the system would go and check. Okay, this is the I will go and identify that I've got 250 available of this product A across 5 storage bins in the warehouse. Okay, then it will say that okay, I need to pick up 75. But then the second case is it will go and do a quant sorting. It will go and do a quant sorting. It will go and sort this. So basically what it will do is it will do a quant sorting. It will sort all this. It will place.
Yeah, you have that button in right hand side. Sort and filter. In editing. No, in home itself. The right hand side.
Fourth button from the right.
Editing. Yeah. Next one. Sort and filter. After that.
Yeah. So we'll go into a point sorting like this. Okay. Let's say that okay, fine, I've got these quants and this is the this is how I've received them. At storage in storage bin 1 and 3 I've received the same batch of goods receipt date 27, and the other storage bins like 2, 4 and 5 I've received it of this date. Then it will go and pick up 50 from here and 25 from here. Okay? Alright guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's basically about, I'm just giving you one thing about a storage stock removal strategy. Basically it's a stock removal rule. But then, now that I have, this is just a case where I go ahead and say that okay, this is my stock removal strategy. We will get into the more other stock removal strategies in a while. But then, before that, we need to identify, we need to understand that how does the system, now that we saw that if it's a FIFO principle, the system would go and check, okay, based on the FIFO principle, what are the rules that have been mentioned in the FIFO principle, okay, and how does the system go ahead and pick it up. But then, what exactly is the methodology that system uses? I mean, I just showed you that it sorts the quant, and then it goes and picks it up based on whatever rules that you placed, and based on whatever parameter that you want to, pick up a product from. So then, in that case, what we need to do is, we need to first, how does the system determine which storage type? How does system determine if this is the bin that I need to pick up? There can be a case that probably this bin is of a different storage type, and this is of, there might be different cases, multiple different cases, permutation combinations. It can be that, the same product is at different storage types, different storage bins. So if that is the case, how does the system go ahead and identify, or how does the system go ahead and, search? What is the sequence in which it goes and searches the storage types? Okay. So for this case, we need to understand how does the storage type search sequence perform. For this, okay, for this to go ahead and for us to go ahead and even do this, first thing that we need to understand is I'll have to go ahead and click, basically create a storage type search sequence. Okay, let's say this is my storage type search sequence. I will just go ahead. I'll just go ahead and create a storage type search sequence. I'll just say EWM1. I'll say pig. Okay, I put in a warehouse number. I'll just put in a storage type search sequence as pig, and I will say that stock removal. I'll create one. Okay. Okay. So I'll go ahead and create this entry. Then once I go ahead and create this entry, I will need to assign which are the stock types or which are the storage types that I need to pick on in what sequence. Basically, I will say that okay, if this is my warehouse and this is, then in that case I will go ahead and assign all my storage types. So the sequence out here will be 1, 2 and 3. So if this is my storage type search sequence, so for this storage type search sequence, the system will go ahead and identify stocks at these 3 different storage types and in this sequence. Okay? Alright guys?
Yeah.
So likewise, if I'm talking about this, we've got the standard kernel out here. So here you see this. It is not necessary that you put in, it has to be in a ascending order or whatever it is, based on whatever storage types. You might want that probably there's a storage type which you want to go ahead and pick it first. There's a different, but then that storage type is not the same ascending order. So you need to go ahead and place all this. You need to go ahead and create a sequence. You need to go ahead and create a sequence saying that, okay, listen, this is the sequence that I need to do. I will go ahead and place all these storage types one below the other based on whichever storage type sequence I need to pick it up from. Okay.
What is the storage type
Basically,
group, Manoj?
Yeah.
Storage
Yes.
type group and TU are there. What are those?
Okay. See, storage type group. So basically, when you're talking about a storage type group, you can assign multiple storage types to a storage type group. So in that case, you don't have to assign all this.
Okay.
Okay. You can also say that, okay, let's say that these two storage types are of one storage type group. Okay. And these two storage types are for different storage type group. Over here, it's over here. I'll just show that to you. Yes?
Yeah.
This is for
This is the stock type.
Sorry. So I can go ahead and create a storage type group here. Okay. I'll just create a certain storage type group, like let's say, let's go down. I'm just giving you an example out here. So I'll go ahead and create a storage type group. I will say that my storage type group is, let's say, pick. Okay. And my stock removal strategy or stock removal rule that I'm going to use is out here. Same way, if I need to have any put away, okay, I need to go ahead and do a put away, and then I will assign the storage types to my storage type group. Okay. So we will understand what exactly a storage type group is when we understand what is a stringent FIFO. This is for a stringent FIFO. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just get into that stringent FIFO and then we will get this clarity out here. So basically, so here we've got the storage type group, which basically is a combination of multiple storage types. Okay. Then you've got something which is known as a TU, the TU check. Okay. Basically, okay, I'll give you an example. Let's say that you've got a TU is basically a transportation unit. Okay. And a transportation unit, which means it's a truck, or it can be a trailer for that matter. Now let's say basically in your warehouse, you have had some kind of a space constraint. Okay, you've got some kind of a space constraint wherein you received your manufacturing facility is somewhere on a remote area. Your manufacturing unit and your warehouse are in two different locations. Okay, and you've received some stock which has been sent from your manufacturing location to your warehouse. But then the thing is that your warehouse is already full. Okay, the warehouse is already full, and you need to go ahead and receive it. You can't send it back. But at the same time, you can't remove the stock from your trailer or from your truck and keep it outside because probably it is raining or something like that. So you just need to keep it inside the trailer itself. Okay. Now there is a case that you've received an order. You received an order from a certain customer, and you need to basically do a picking. So then in that case, if this is the case where you don't have any stock, if basically you don't have any space available in your warehouse, and there is stock available for a certain product A inside that trailer. Okay, and for some reason you need to say that, okay, come on, yeah, now I don't want to consider any stock removal rule. I just want the system to consider that, consider this transportation unit. I just want to go and pick it up from this transportation unit and send it back. Send it to this customer so that at least I can remove this truck or trailer from my warehouse. Okay, and then likewise I will, slowly I will remove it from my warehouse also. So if that is the case, then you can go ahead and you can go ahead and do a check over here. Okay, so basically what you're trying to tell the system is, you're trying to tell the system whether stock from my transportation unit, as in like from my truck or from my trailer, is also to be considered for your picking also. Okay. Hello, Suhail?
Yeah. I got it.
You got that?
Yeah, I got it.
So sequence is a user-defined term, or we need to?
Yes, user-defined.
Okay.
You can go and define it. Let's say it depends upon your warehouse. Depending upon your warehouse, you might have, let's say, it all depends upon how big your warehouse is. There might be a case that your warehouse is very huge, but then you've got very few doors. You just have 4 doors in your warehouse. Okay. So now if such is the case, you want probably the system to go ahead and identify, you don't want your warehouse executive to run across from one end of the warehouse to the other end. Okay. You want the warehouse to be, you want to have stock removal to happen in a very, very systematic way. From one end of the warehouse to the other end, or probably from the front of the door to the back of the warehouse, as in to the other side of the wall. If that is the case, you can go ahead and sequence it accordingly.
Okay.
Okay. So that's basically about your storage type search sequence. So I can go ahead and place it, basically I will say that, okay, this is my storage type search sequence. It will identify. So whenever I'm receiving an outbound delivery, when I'm receiving a requirement for a stock removal, the first thing that the system will check is, what is my storage type search sequence? How has the functional consultant configured or structured which storage types have to be picked up first. Okay. Then the second thing that it will go is, it will go and find out what is the stock removal rule. Okay, it will go and check what is the stock removal rule. Inside the stock removal rule, it will identify, okay, this is my stock removal rule, as in, this is my stock removal rule to go ahead and do a picking based on the first in, first out. Okay, this is how I need to pick it up. So I will identify based on that. Okay. Then you've got something which is known as a stock removal control indicator. The stock removal control indicator, okay, this is basically an indicator which you use or which you will maintain, okay, or which you will, basically which you will maintain at your warehouse product level. Here. Okay?
Okay.
The stock removal control indicator is an exact opposite of your putaway control indicator or your packing. Basically, a putaway control indicator, okay, if I go over and maintain certain putaway control indicators for certain products, it means that the system will use this indicator to identify which bins I need to do a putaway, in a certain sequence, how do I do a putaway. Likewise, I've got something which is known as a stock removal control indicator. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to just maintain this. Sorry?
There is an option checkbox fixed. So what's
See, fixed, which means I will say that this is the way I need to go ahead and, I am not going to be using any other strategy.
okay.
Okay?
So that means if you didn't check that box, even you put some indicator here and some strategy,
Yeah.
so system still use some other.
Not necessarily. Basically, the thing is, what we're trying to do over here is we are saying that this is my putaway control indicator, okay? And the thing is, how do you want to go about it? You might say that there might be a case wherein I want to use probably a combination of two differents, okay? Based on your scenario.
Okay.
Okay. So based on your scenario, how do you want to do it? So then you can have it. Basically, the thing is, if you go ahead and maintain a putaway control indicator over here, system would go ahead and automatically, use that putaway control indicator only. You don't have to use a fixed indicator over there.
Okay.
Okay. That's how I have tested it. You can probably do it and test it and check if it uses another, whatever scenario I tested on, it goes ahead and doesn't override that. That has never overridden the packy which we've used. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Another case, so just like that, you've got a stock removal control indicator. Okay. Now, second, basically, once I have created what exactly my stock removal control indicator is, it has to determine how do I go ahead and pick based on my WPT, and how do I go ahead and do go ahead and do the picking. So now if I want to go ahead and do a picking, now the case is that we have received okay, we have received an outbound delivery in your warehouse. Okay, you received an outbound delivery. We have a certain quantity that we have got to pick. We've got the stock removal rule that we have set up. We've got a storage type search sequence that we have set up. Now, how does the system go ahead and identify what WPT to pick and which rule that I need to check? Okay, so for that case, what we need to do is we need to go ahead and maintain this entry. Basically, we'll say that this is my warehouse number. Okay, so now if this is my warehouse number, okay, I can have an entry which is having a blank, stock removal control indicator. Like there might be different types of products. Let's say I've got 10 products in my warehouse, and out of 10 products, I need to use I need to go do a picking based on, let's say, LIFO. I need to do a picking based on LIFO for those 5 products, and wherein if I have a stock removal control indicator maintained for certain 5 products, I need to do a FIFO for that. So I can go ahead and do all that. So basically, let's say if I create it out here, let's say W1, I can have a stock removal control indicator over here. Let's say pick a stock removal control indicator. Then warehouse process type, let's say stock removal, quantity classification. Then there's something, the quantity classification and stock types. Okay, basically you're going to be using stock type groups. This is a stock type group, stock type group. Basically, you want like we said, right? In our warehouses, we can go ahead and have stocks of different stock types. There might be certain stock types which are of quality inspection. There might be certain stock types which are of unrestricted use. So you might want to have a free hand on which stock types that the system will have to go ahead and pick. So you can go ahead and put that out here. We can create a stock type group. Okay, we can go ahead and create a stock type group and place it out here, so that the system will not consider the quality inspection stock for any kind of a stock removal. Let's say that you want to do a putaway, you want to do a dispatch for a certain product. Okay, and you've got all quality inspection stocks available in your warehouse, which means that you've not yet finished the quality inspection for that where during the inbound. Okay, it is still in the quality inspection state. So then how does the system go and identify that I can't pick this? So for that, you can go ahead and make you can do an exception out here based on that. Okay, the next you're talking about is the stock type. What is? Do I have sales order or project? I can have a sales order type of stock, which this comes at your outbound delivery level, where I need to have a sales order or a project type of a stock. and then you've got certain which is known as what is my usage, stock usage. Okay, I've got something which is known as a consignment stock, returnable transport packaging. So if I'm talking about a consignment stock that I've placed it, I've received some stock from let's say a vendor like Alan Solly. I'm a retail warehousing expert. Sorry, I'm a retail warehousing service provider, and I've got something which is from an Alan Solly. So when I'm receiving all that, I will receive it as a consignment stock. So if I'm receiving it as consignment stock, I want to go ahead and pick only the consignment stock first. So then I can go ahead and place this out here. Likewise, I want to have, let's say, a hazardous, rating based on my hazardous. If I'm talking about hazardous products, I can do hazardous rating also. And then these are the two more important fields. One is the storage type search sequence. Okay, I will say that, let's say I want to do a pick out here, and then what is my stock removal rule. So it can be a FIFO, it can be a re-FIFO. Okay, so here I am using a FIFO, but then the same So basically what I'm trying to say is, let's say if my stock removal control indicator is pick, if I maintain this stock removal control indicator as pick in any of my products, so then in that case the system will identify this warehouse process type, and in this warehouse process type it will go and use this storage type search sequence, okay, pick, and it will for such kind of products it will only use LIFO principle, last in first out. Whereas if at the product level I leave this as blank, the stock removal control indicator is blank, then in that case the system will only go ahead and pick up all these stocks using the FIFO principle. Okay?
Okay.
Alright guys?
Yeah.
Is it clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then there is something known as optimization of the access strategy, which means that if I have got a certain warehouse and I've got, we went ahead and we created this determination, right? Okay, we created this determination. There might be a case that, I've got so many fields out here. I've got a two-step picking, stock removal control indicator, my quantity classification, stock type, my storage type search sequence, my stock removal rule, my hazardous rating. Now let's say for some cases that I've maintained I've created the same field, like 2-3 fields out here. I've got 2-3 entries. If that is the case, how does the system identify which one do I pick, which one do I use first? Which one do I use first? Now let's say over here, let's consider this example. Let's not consider this example. Let's consider yeah. So this is the case wherein what is the sequence in which the system should even identify the stock removal sequence. So it will say that, okay, fine, first I will check if the stock removal rule is there and the procurement and the warehouse process type is there. Then I will pick up the sequence. Okay, then I will use this sequence. If there is no stock removal indicator, then I will directly go by my warehouse process type. So I can create sequences out here also. I can go and do the optimization. Okay? Guys, you there?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was basically about here. We are talking about your, stock removal search sequence, or should I say the strategy. So now let's get into a little bit in depth on the various stock removal rules. Okay. So we try to understand when we basically understood the first principle. We understood the FIFO principle. Okay. So the FIFO principle. So any stock removal rule is based on certain. Any stock removal strategy is based on a stock removal rule, which is based on certain sort fields. Sort field means these are the fields that the system will use to sort your quants, and based on that it will go and do picking. Now see, this is the FIFO principle, right? Okay, this is the FIFO principle. You have you've got the goods received date. Now let's go and check the LIFO principle, last in first out. You see this check out here?
Descending.
You see this check? Descending. So how does it become LIFO? Basically it becomes LIFO by the descending principle. Okay? So you can use these kind of various sort control fields, sort fields to go ahead and do a, to go ahead and make a fantastic stock removal strategy based on your client requirements. Okay. Now this is something known as a stringent FIFO. Okay. Stringent FIFO, what is the difference between FIFO and stringent FIFO? In FIFO, what we do is, you go ahead and sort all your quants based on the goods received date. Just like that, even in stringent FIFO, you would go ahead and sort it based on your goods received date. However, okay, in FIFO, okay, when you're using FIFO, let's say in FIFO, this is my FIFO strategy. In FIFO, I will go ahead and make a sequence in which, I'll make a sequence in which the system should go ahead and check that these are the various storage types, and then this is the sequence in which you will have to identify the various, the various quants. So the sequence, so basically, if this is the sequence, it got 0050, 0020, 10, and 80. The system will go ahead and check how many quants of a certain product A are available in the warehouse. Okay, let's try to understand that. This is FIFO, okay? Alright guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically what I've added over here is I've just added another external parameter, okay, just to try to make you guys understand the difference between FIFO and stringent FIFO. The other parameter is your storage type. Okay. So if I've got a storage type out here, I've got all these bins, and every bin is of different storage type. Okay, these two bins are of one storage type. This is of another storage type. This is of another storage type, and this is of another storage type. And in my stock removal, basically search sequence, storage type search sequence, I have maintained it in such a way. Let's go to the 70. I will say that whenever the system will search for anything, it will first go and check in storage type. It will go and do a sorting first. It will go and sort this. Okay. Okay. Basically what we're trying to do is over here we've maintained that, whenever you want to do a picking, the system would first go and check that this is my storage type I need to go and check storage bins in storage type 50, then 20, then 10, and then 70. Okay, so if this is the case that I've received this, so basically the system would then go and do a sorting. Okay, it will say that, okay, I need to go ahead and, if I need to do a sorting, then the system would go and check first storage bin 01 as in 50, then storage bin 005, then it will go in for 20, it will go and check which is the storage type 20, it will go and check, okay, I need to go and check for stock from here, then it will go for storage type 10, okay, and then it will go for storage type 70. Now, this is only when the quantity that has been asked for and the quantity that has been available is, is not less. It probably, let's say the quantity that has been asked for is, let's say 200. So the system will go and check first 50. It will go and pick that. It will go and check again 50. It will pick this also. Then it will go for 20. It will pick 20. It will pick 50 from here. Then it will go to storage type 10 and it will pick it from here. So it will all, when you're using FIFO, the system would go ahead and sort the count and then go and pick it up. However, when you're using stringent FIFO, okay, when you're using stringent FIFO, at that time what system will do is, for this, the system will not consider any storage type. It will not consider any storage type. So this is how it will be. So it will not go ahead and consider, it will just say, this is my storage type group. This is my storage type group, stringent FIFO. My stock removal tool is FIFO. And then, where there is no assignment out here also, there will be just, it will just say stringent FIFO. It will just put in all there is no sequence out here. It will just go and say, these are the number of storage types that I want to assign with a stringent FIFO. It will just go ahead and assign all these storage types with stringent FIFO. Okay. So then, in such a case, there are no storage types out here. What the system will do is, it will go ahead and only sort. It will go ahead and sort all the quants based on your FIFO principle. If you're using a FIFO principle out here, okay, so I'm using a stringent FIFO. If I'm going to be using a stringent FIFO, then what the system will do is it will not go ahead and sort it based on my storage type. The search sequence will not be on my storage type level. It will just go ahead and do a sorting of all of this. And take this and we'll sort it. Okay, sorry. We'll go and do a sorting like this. Okay. Now let's say I need to go ahead and do a receipt. Okay, I need to go and do a receipt of 75 eaches of this product. 75 eaches of a product A. So now the thing is, what the system will do is, it will say that okay, this is if I do a quant sorting, I identify that there is 50 eaches of this product A in storage type 50, which is probably on one end of the warehouse. And then there is 50 eaches of the same product in this storage bin, in this storage type, which is probably on the other end of the warehouse. So if that is the case, and in a stringent FIFO, it will not identify the sequence. It will just go and say, okay, it will just identify what is the stock removal rule. If it is FIFO, then it will blindly go ahead and identify. It will just go by that principle. It says, okay, it is FIFO, so it will just blindly use FIFO principle out there. Okay? Alright?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is basically about stringent FIFO. Likewise, even for your last in first out strategy, it's the exact opposite of a first in first out, wherein you go ahead and have a descending, just a descending check at your sort field. Okay? Alright guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then the next important, stock removal strategy that we're going to be talking about is something which is known as a partial quantities first. Okay?
Manoj,
Yeah.
so we cannot mention both storage type and storage type group.
No. Come again. Sorry.
In set sequence, so either we can mention storage type, so that system will look for quants in the storage type or storage type group, so that it can look among all the storage types.
No, see, the thing is basically, what is the purpose that is going to be served if I go ahead and maintain both these entries? That is what I need to understand. See, basically, you will always, based on in any warehouse, okay, whenever you're speaking to your client, you will clearly understand what his requirements are. He'll say that, okay, see, I want to, for these kind of products, I need to do picking in such a way. For these kind of products, I need to do picking in such a way. So when you identify, you will say that you'll over here, even in a warehouse, they've got constraints of forklifts also. It might be a case that, they've got a huge warehouse, but they just have 2 forklifts. Okay. So now, if I use a stringent FIFO kind of a principle, then imagine that the forklift person will have to just keep roaming from one end of the warehouse to another end of the warehouse, only to satisfy one outbound delivery. Okay. So basically what you'll do is, it all depends upon warehouse to warehouse basics. Warehouse to warehouse, case and scenario to scenario. Certain cases, certain cases in kind of an automated type of warehouse, everything, all the picking and all will happen from, it is happening, there's an automated stock removal that happens through all machines and all that. And every aisle that you have, every aisle has got a certain, has got an arm, automated arm, which goes and picks all these pallets and all that. If such is the case, then you can use a stringent FIFO. Wherever the stock is available, it will go and pick it up, put it on the conveyor belt, and you have a stock removal. But when you're talking about doing it manually, it is much better to have it in a structured way. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. So the next type of basically stock removal rule that we're going to be talking about is something to know as the partial quantities first. Okay? Now, partial quantities first. If I'm talking about a partial quantity first is, let me just write down that example first over here. Just a minute. Basically, we're talking about partial quantities first. Okay. Now this is the scenario wherein I've got, the same product. Okay. I've got the same product, and this is the batch, this is the GR date, this is the quantity that I've received, and these are the various storage units. Okay. Now the thing is, let's say, let's not put this as 150. Put this as 100. Now let's say that I've got a standard HU, and my HU is E1. So in one HU of this product A, okay, HU E1, I can have 100 eaches. So my full HU will be 100. one full HU or one full HU in my storage bin will be 100 eaches of this product A. So in a partial quantities first, basically what the system does is it tries to minimize the number of partial quantities of a certain product that are available in your warehouse. Okay, basically what the system tries over here is it says that okay, I will not go ahead and consider any principle. I will not go ahead and consider your stock removal, like your goods receipt date, your FIFO principle, your LIFO principle. I will not go ahead and consider all that. I will only go and check if there are partial quantities that are available in your warehouse. Okay, if there are partial quantities that are available in your warehouse for this product. That's the only thing that I need to consider. Okay, so basically for such cases, what will the system do? Okay, the system would go ahead and check. Okay, first of all, you're basically over here. We are talking about a partial quantity. You will say that okay, this is my stock removal rule. If I need to create a stock removal rule, sorry. So what is going to be my sort field? Okay. What I will say is I will go ahead and I will say that what is my stock removal rule. I will go ahead and put it as, I will say okay, this is my stock removal rule. It will go ahead on based on my HU. It will say that this is my HU, and based on the HU I need to go ahead and do a sorting. I need to go ahead and do an ascending quantity sorting. It will say that okay fine, this is my complete HU. Okay, so if this is my complete HU, then if I need to sort it, like there might be cases that my HU is complete, it is partially complete, or it is empty. If such is the case, then I will go ahead and sort it according to that. And after I do a sorting, okay, after I go and do a sorting, I also need to understand over here I will go ahead and use a quantity classification. I will say pallets. Okay, so basically I will put in a quantity classification over here for this, and then for the same thing I also need to have a packaging specification available. Just a minute. So here I'll put in something which is as my quantity classification is as a pallet. Okay. So what it means when I'm creating a packaging specification, it says that if my target quantity is 10, which means that if I've got 10 inches of this product, okay, then in that case I will create one HU. Okay. If I have got 10 inches of this product, which means that I will have one HU created using this packaging material. Okay, so if I go ahead and over here, if I go ahead and put my quantity classification as pallets, okay, it means that my HU type that I'm using is E1 over here, which is going to be the HU type of this packaging material, and at the same time, okay, my quantity classification over here is 4, which is pallet, which I have maintained over here also. So, which means the system would go ahead and check all these three parameters. One is it will go and check what is the stock removal rule. The second is it will go and check whether your storage type search sequence has got quantity classification maintained, and the third it will check your packaging specification. So in the packaging specification, you have clearly mentioned that if I've got 10 inches of a certain product, it means it's a full HU. So what the system will do is, it will go, whenever you want to go ahead and pick up, let's say, if this is the scenario, so this means, okay, this is a full HU, this is also a full HU, this is like this is, let's say, partial, this is partial as well, and this is partial as well. So these three HUs are partial, okay, and these three are full HUs. So whenever, if I'm using a partial quantities first type of a scenario, wherein let's say I need to pick 150, my quantity that I need to pick is 150. So in that case, the system will go ahead and first, when it sorts it, it will go and sort it in such a way it go ahead and sort it like this. It will first go and pick 50 from here, then 55, which makes it 105, and the remaining 45 it will pick from this point. So basically, when the system does this, what it does is, it goes ahead and it will go ahead and free these two storage bins. These two storage bins become free. Okay? Alright guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is basically the concept of a partial quantities first. Okay?
Okay.
Then we have got something which is known as shelf life expiration date, or an SLED check. When you're talking about an SLED check, I can use my sort field as shelf life expiration date and my warehouse at my warehouse product level. Okay, I go ahead and maintain what my shelf life expiration date is. I go ahead and maintain all this. Okay, so what the system will do is, it will go ahead and identify what is my goods receipt date, and based on my goods receipt, it will also check out what's my shelf life. And based on that, it will go ahead and do a picking based on my SLED. So you can use this sort field for those type of products. Okay? Hello, guys, you there?
Yeah. Manoj.
Yeah. So that is basically about our stock removal strategies and the various stock removal rules. Okay?
Okay.
Alright. Basically what we're going to do. Sorry, go ahead.
Can we add any other chart fields also here, or these are the system defined? We cannot add any other fields here.
See, these are the system defined stock, sort fields out here. If you want to go ahead and do some kind of another type of stock removal, if you want to do custom, if you want to use a custom strategy.
Okay.
Okay. Let's say you've got something which is known as okay, I'll give you, okay, which we have. This is a live scenario which we have used. Basically, the client, what the client has told us, he gave us a requirement saying that, see, I need to do a FIFO, I need to do a first in first out, okay, but at the same time I need to use a last in first out. So we were like, okay, what does that mean? So he says that, okay, if I need to do a picking, I've got these warehouses wherein when I need to do a picking, I need to use a first in first out principle, which means that when the system will go and check the various aisles in my warehouse, it needs to go and identify the aisle wherein the goods receipt date is the oldest. But inside that goods receipt date, I need to first pick up the last goods receipt date within that. As in the time, it will identify the time which is there. Which means what I'll do is, it will go and check an aisle, and inside an aisle if I've got 10 let's say 10 pallets. So inside that I want to do a last in first out. Basically what the system does, what the user, where basically the warehouse executive wants to do is, he doesn't want to shift 9 pallets and take the first pallet. He wants to only pick the 10th pallet and take it for picking. So for that, if those kind of you want to go and do those kind of strategies, custom stock removal strategies, you can use standard bodies which are available. You can use those bodies available over here. So you can this is the body for quant sorting, filtering and sorting of quants. You can do how change of requested quantity. You can use check of specified bin. You can use a lot of good bodies available. You can use these standard bodies and you can create your own stock removal strategy. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So
any other questions, guys? Yeah, go ahead.
So date of goods receipt means it will not consider time. Only.
Sorry, it will check that. It will check that. Basically, over here, what we try to do is, he didn't want to go ahead and he wanted to say that, see, if I'm using a FIFO principle in my aisle, it will go and say that, okay, fine, this is the aisle which has got the last goods receipt, which has got the oldest goods receipt. But inside this oldest goods receipt, he also wanted to add another parameter saying that if I've got 10 sections, if I've got 10 sections inside that aisle, I want to pick up the last section, not the first section. The first section would be section 1 and the last section would be section 10. So we had to introduce, in the body, we had to say that, okay, it will first sort based on the goods receipt date. Okay, it will identify which is the aisle, and within the aisle, it will go and it has to only pick LGPLA. The LGPLA, which means it is the field for your storage bin. Field for your storage bin. This is how it is. Okay, so this is your LG num, which is your warehouse, EWM1. Then your LGPLA, this is basically your storage bin. Okay, so this is your storage bin over here. Now within the storage bin, let's say if I've got multiple storage sections, if I'm using pallet-based pallet storage, so I'll have multiple storage sections, right? I'll have 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1. It will be something like this. This is my pallet storage, right?
Yeah.
So I've got 5 sections over here. So this is 0, 1 is my first section, as in this is 0, 1 is actually next to the wall, and 0, 5 is 5 sections away from the wall. So the system identified that this is the aisle that I need, this is the storage bin from where I need to pick it. I don't want to go ahead and shift these 4 and then pick up this 1 first. I want to only pick up this 5, because then in that case I'm using a lot of space and a lot of time to go into the shifting. So this is a standard custom strategy which we had used, because the client had a lot of space constraints within his warehouse. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions, guys?
Actually, I have a few questions on package specification.
Sorry, I'm not able to hear you, Shashi.
I have a few questions on packaging specification. So, can you go to pack spec screen?
Yeah, just a minute.
if you can open any package specification.
Yeah, just a minute, I'll just open that. Yeah. Tell me.
So here,
Mm-hmm.
within content, we are maintaining the products.
Within content,
We are
Yeah.
maintaining the products, okay?
yes,
And in each level, we are mentioning the packaging materials,
yes,
okay? So, but we are not relating these product to the packaging material. Suppose if I have two products and I have three levels here, so where should I mention that product 1 should go into the level 1 and product 2 should go into the level 2, something like that?
no, no. Basically, you're saying that you've got two products and you've got the same packaging material.
No, different pack. I mean, I have three products, let's say like that,
Okay.
and three levels.
Okay, three products and three levels. Okay, so
Yeah.
which means you're having three packaging specifications, right? So you've got three main products. You've got product A, product B, and product C, right?
Yeah,
And you've got three packaging materials. You've got a small carton, big carton, and a pallet, right?
yeah,
Okay, so which means you're creating three different packaging specifications, right?
okay,
So you'll have a product A, just like over here, you've got this certain product. Then inside that, your main level, okay, your first level, you'll have your small carton. Then you'll add another level over here, which will be a big carton, and then you'll add a third level over here, which will be your pallet. So if you go and check the preview for this, so this is how it will look. It will say that okay, product A, one each. This, the target quantity for this main level, it will be 10. Okay, 10 eaches of this 10 eaches of this product in this packaging material. Just a minute, Shashi. Just hold on. Sorry, guys. Work on. Yeah. So Shashi.
Mhm.
Hello.
Yeah.
Shashi, you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, if you're talking about, in your case, you'll have three levels out here. So here, if you see that, this product A, 1 eaches will go in, the total quantity will be 10 eaches. Okay. In this main level, then you'll have a subordinate level, and then you'll have another level. So that's
Yeah.
how you'll create your packaging specification.
Yeah. In level 2, if I want to
Mhm.
put another product,
Yeah. Product as in another product as in another product or another packaging material.
another product in another packaging material. Suppose it's like there is a product 1. I will keep
Okay.
that product 1 in a small box. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And such small boxes will go into another carton
Mm-hmm.
with some different product also,
Mm-hmm.
and these cartons and these products will go into pallet.
Okay. No, then you're talking about VAS. You're not talking about packaging specification over here.
Okay.
Okay, you're talking about VAS over here. What you're saying is that then it is as good as you creating like a bomb.
Okay.
You know. Basically what you're trying to do is you're having a product A which you placed it something like you've got multiple like you've got a something like you've got a product A, you wrap it in a you wrap you put 5 products of product A in a packaging in a small carton, then you take that and then you place it in a big carton which has got some other products also, right?
Yeah.
Then in that case you're not doing packaging, you're not doing this, that is known as kitting.
Okay.
That is known as kitting. For that you'll have to create kitting is basically you can use that kitting using EWM and PP integration, wherein you create a bomb using you create such a bomb so that you've got multiple products and you do kitting like that. You can do kitting in that way.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Right?
in this packaging specification screen, in the
Hello?
header there is hello Manoj.
Yeah.
In the package specification screen, in the header there is a tab called document.
Just a minute, let me come out of this.
The header documents.
Yeah.
So what is this document management system?
Document management system is DMS. You can go ahead and say that you can basically for any packaging specification that you're creating. Okay.
Okay.
So you can go and you can make let's say how do you use that? Okay. Basically, you've got this document management system in your MM also. Basically, if you've got certain your products, your materials, and all that, you want to basically put in a document, attach a document to that packaging specification, wherein you say that basically it's like an instruction manual that you can upload over here. Okay. Like let's say if you're creating, this is the packaging specification that you need to create. Okay. So you can say that if this is the product A, don't keep the product A in an upright position. Keep it in a it should not be kept vertically. It should be kept horizontally, and then it should be packed. So all those kind of instructions you can create a document and you can upload it over here.
Okay.
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 Manoj, we have this auxiliary packaging, right?
Yes.
Where do we maintain this for this pack specification? These are the auxiliary packaging materials that may be required.
Yeah, that is at the configuration level. You can maintain auxiliary packaging materials and all that.
Okay.
Can you please go to IMC?
Sorry?
Can you please go to IMG? IMG packaging specifications. So there,
Yeah. Sure.
global attributes for packaging specifications. Yeah, general packaging. That one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is that form name? So here they had given T code for that pack spec. So what is actually?
Basically, you see this?
Yeah.
This is the form, smart form.
Yeah.
So this is exactly what I maintain over here.
Okay.
So if I need to do a print preview,
Mm-hmm.
what is the smart form that I'll be using? So this is a smart form for that. If I put another smart form over here, it will use that smart form.
No, this is what pack slip. Huh?
Sorry?
Is this pack slip?
No, sorry, I didn't get you again. Sorry?
No, is this the packing slip?
Yeah, packaging specification slip, yes.
Packaging specification slip, not the packing slip.
Packing slip as in? You're talking about the packing list?
Yeah, packing list.
No, this is not a packing list. A packing list would definitely be, basically when you're doing an outbound, right? When you're doing an outbound, you have a packaging list, which will give you all the, it goes along with your delivery challan.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, this is not the packaging list. No. This is basically, like an additional thing wherein you say that, okay, fine. What you do is, let's say if you created pallets, okay. You have created multiple pallets in your warehouse and you place those pallets. So what you do is, what they basically, in few warehouses, what they do is they take a printout of this packaging specification form, okay, and they place it on top of the pallet, and they basically stick it on top of it. So what anyone, when he reads the packaging specification, he identifies very clearly that, okay, this pallet has got 10 cartons and each carton has got 10 eaches of this product.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, that's.
Okay. All right then. Okay. So then we'll hold it out here. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. We'll see you.